Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another session on Python programming. What we had seen yesterday was introduction to concept of strings. Today we look into why strings are so special and what are the various operations that we can perform on strings. Python provides several built-in functions for us to manipulate strings. But we also need to know some important properties of strings. One very important property of a string in Python is strings in Python are immutable. Immutable means you cannot make changes to these strings. So once you have created a string, it cannot be changed. You can lose it, you can destroy it, but you cannot alter the contents of the string. Say I wrote my name in uppercase and I thought small case and I thought the first letter should be uppercase. Can I change that first letter to uppercase later? Not possible, because strings in Python are immutable. Please make a note of it. Strings in Python are immutable. Mutable means we can change, and immutable means you cannot change. Let's have a proof of the same. Is the screen visible, everybody? The Python shell?
Yes.
Okay. So suppose we create a string, and it's a simple string that we create saying s is equal to Python. So if I say s is equal to Python, that's a simple string that has been created. I may very well want to print this string. You can see the same contents Python being printed on the screen. Till here, everything is okay. But suppose I try to make changes. Say I want to access only the first character or only the second character. What kind of indexing will you give to access the first character? If I have to access the first character of the string?
S of 0.
S of 0. That's very correct. If I say S of 0, I get P. I thought this P should be small case. So what did I do? I say S of 0 is equal to small case P. If I do that, it will generate an error. str object does not support item assignment. That means you cannot assign value to the contents of the string. You cannot make changes to the contents of the string. Strings, once created, are immutable. You cannot change the contents of the string. Here I tried to make one change, that the 0th position where I had uppercase P, I tried to store small case p, it has generated error. Suppose p की जगह j store कर देते, Python बना देते, instead of Python, say uppercase j डाल देते हैं, that will also generate an error. So this is an error in Python if I try and manipulate the contents of the string. So strings in Python, yes, please.
So is concatenation possible?
Concatenation is very much possible, but changes is not possible. You cannot make changes to the contents of the string. Changes is allowed in C, C++. So there are a number of languages that allow changes, and there are some languages which do not allow change. And Java and Python fall in one category where changes are not allowed, whereas Python, C and C++ fall into another category where changes are allowed. So C++ allows changes, and some languages like Java and Python does not allow you to make any changes to the string once it has been created. But that was just one such property that we have seen. Also keep in mind, all string in Python are Unicode. Now I'll come to that later. First, our focus today is to explore all the functions which will give us an opportunity to manipulate the contents of the string. So let's explore various functions for string manipulation. Now, when I say string manipulation, the first thing comes to our mind is I'm going to make changes to the string. But we are just saying string cannot be changed. The strings in Python are immutable. So if you carry out operations on strings in Python, it's costly because once you carry out the operation, it returns a new string with the changed data. It doesn't modify the existing string. It returns you a new string. The existing string remains as it is. It returns you a new string with the updated or modified content. Let's have a proof of it. In the process, we'll also explore various functions, string functions, which are available for us for performing string manipulation. Say, suppose you have a string, and this string has some contents. Say it is saying Hution. So this is the content. And if I want to print this particular string, let's print this string. If I print this string, it prints the same set of characters. So printing is okay, but I thought all these characters which are present inside the string should be uppercase. Should be uppercase. This was S. Or let us do this way. Let's call this as S1. So this was S1. Huh? This was S1. Now I say S2 is equal to S1 dot upper. So I thought of making changes to the string. I say S2 is equal to S1 dot upper. Now again I print S1. So if I print S1, it is the original string is unchanged. But if I print S2, you will find S2 is everything in uppercase. So when I went ahead performing this operation of upper, it did not convert the string to uppercase equivalent. It returned you an uppercase equivalent. Listen to my words very carefully. S1 dot upper did not convert the string to its uppercase equivalent. It returned a new string which contains characters which are equivalent to uppercase equivalent of all the characters present inside the string. So it is not making changes to S1. It is written, it's like an expression. Say in mathematics, suppose you have two variables, A and B. A's value is 10, B's value is 20. If I say A plus B, neither is A changed, neither is B changed. But A plus B ka ek result hai that I could assign to C. So you will get a new result. So when I'm saying S1 dot upper, it has returned you a new string that contains the uppercase equivalent of all these characters which are present. Now S2 is an uppercase, isn't it? And S1 is in small title case. Yeah, S1 is SIM. But if I say S1 is equal to S2 dot lower, so like upper, if I say lower, now if I print S1, all characters are converted to small case. So you can convert the case of a character to uppercase or lowercase by using this particular function. Now here all characters are small case. Watch it very carefully. All characters are small case. Is that the only thing that we can do? No. There are a number of other functions which are there. Let's take some other string. Suppose if I have another string saying S1 is equal to hello everybody, something more. So that's a string that is there. I thought of neither uppercase, neither lowercase. So what do? I say capitalize. So I'm saying S dot capitalize. The result is assigned to S. That is the original string is lost but not changed. And the new string's result is assigned to the same variable S. So S will now point to the updated string, new string. Now if I want to print this particular string, if the string is equal to S, if I write, note the first letter has got converted to uppercase. So capitalize inside the string, wherever we had the first letter, it's like more like a sentence kind of thing. Only the first letter of the string has now been capitalized. The rest all letters are in small case. But what if the original string itself contains some more letters in a different case? Like if I had hello, everybody ka bo dy kind of thing. And now if I had said capitalize, what would happen? Let's see. If I now print this particular string, now although this particular string was containing something like bo dy, that was in uppercase. Okay, here it has correctly taken care of it. So capitalize converts only the first letter of the string to its uppercase equivalent, whereas lower converts all the characters to lowercase, upper converts all character to uppercase, capitalize converts only the first character inside the string to uppercase. The rest all will get converted to lowercase. Just give me a second. So while lower converted all character to lowercase equivalent, upper converted all characters to uppercase equivalent, capitalize converted only the first character to its uppercase equivalent. So three different functions is what we have seen.
Sir, hello.
Yes, please.
सर कैपिटलाइज से जो फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर था वो कैपिटल होगा या जो इंडेक्स 0 पे रहेगा वो कैपिटल होगा? लाइक अगर हम हेलो के आगे की स्पेस दे दे और
फिर
ये
जो स्पेस दिखाई दे रहा है दैट्स बिकॉज़ आई हैव पुट सम स्पेस ओवर हियर. ओके,
नहीं मतलब मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपने जो एस को असाइन किया है ना. ओके
ओके, लेट्स डू इट जस्ट टू क्लियर योर डाउट. व्हाट विल डू इज विल टेक द स्ट्रिंग और इस स्ट्रिंग में अगर यहाँ स्पेस है, दिस इज व्हाट यू वांट टू से. Okay, so if this is your string, it is hello everybody, something more. Now if I say capitalize and if I go on to print the string, no changes. The first character over here is a space. String here, first character. So a lot of time people feel this is not a character. Space is also a character. There are two types of character. Good that you took up this particular topic. There are two types of character. One is white space character, other is non-white space character. White space character and non-white space character. Non-white space character are those that we can see with our naked eyes. And white space characters are also characters which we cannot see with our naked eyes. So three very commonly used white space characters: space, tab, enter. So they're also characters. But then when I use the word capitalize, function called as capitalize, it is trying to convert the first character to its uppercase equivalent. But then if I pass the first character as an alphabet, then you'll have uppercase and lowercase. You'll never have uppercase space, your lowercase space, uppercase tab, your lowercase tab, your uppercase enter and lowercase enter. Those things are not there. So this concept of casing is applicable only to alphabets, uppercase and lowercase. Can we take care of this problem? Very easily, because there are functions in Python which can remove the leading and the trailing spaces. So by mistake, when you accept the name of a student, okay, and in case if it so happens the user enters the name of the student with spaces, that's a very common mistake that happens. Even when you're working with databases, think about it. We have Piyusha with us, and we want to search whether Piyusha is there in this classroom or not. But when you are accepting her record, say Harsh is an operator, he enters Piyusha and a space, galti se, and enter. Space was not visible, but space will get captured. So Piyusha's name will get stored with a space. So henceforth, whenever we are searching for Piyusha, we'll not get her. Why? Because in our database, what we have is Piyusha space, and what we are searching is for Piyusha. So one very important thing that we need to do, whenever you accept the data, especially strings, if there are any leading spaces or trailing spaces, it is your duty as a developer to trim and remove all those spaces which are there, the leading and the preceding spaces. It's your duty to clean the data and then store into the database. You should not just take whatever user enters, because there may be such non-white space characters that may get added, and they'll create huge problem for you while you go ahead carrying out basic operation, researching and other things. When you go ahead carrying out, it will create a huge problem. So keep in mind, two types of characters, white space and non-white space. And within non-white space, we have alphabetic and non-alphabetic characters. So the concept of casing is available only for the alphabetic characters, not for plus, minus, into, divide, dollar, question mark. These are also characters. They are non-white space characters. They are visible by naked eyes, but they are not alphabets. So the concept of casing is applicable only to alphabets. So if you have character that you added, let's take another string just for clarifying the doubt. Another string, I say S is equal to, now this is my string. Now the concept of casing will not be applicable for this particular string. So if I say S dot lower, same. I say S dot upper, same thing. I say S dot capitalize. I misspelled. Capitalize, same. So concept of casing is applicable only to alphabets and not to any other character. So keep that. Does that clear it out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's proceed with some more functions. Say you are accepting a string, and I wanted you to accept a name of a fellow, a name of a student, or you want to accept, say, phone number of a student. So if I'm going to accept phone number and somebody says my phone number is ABCD, that's not right. The phone number should contain only digits. So even before you capture that information where somebody has entered phone number as ABCD, we should be in a position to check whether the input data is correct or not, whether it contains all the digits or not, or whether it contains all alphabets or not. So how do I check that? So let's take an example. Suppose you are prompting the user to enter digits. So I say telephone is equal to input, please enter your phone number. And then user enter the phone number like ABCDE. Now that's just cannot be the phone number, isn't it? But since I accepted, it will get stored. So if I want to print the telephone number, if I want to print, it says ABCD. Now that's invalid. So we should have checked whether the entered data is digits or not. So how could we do that? We could very easily check that by calling a function called as isDigit. So I can call a function called as telephone.isDigits. So when I call this function isDigit, it says false, because in this particular name, that telephone number that we accepted, we did not have digits. Okay. So let me accept the phone number once again. I say 123$456. So I have entered digits. One of the characters is not a digit. Now if I check digit, still it says false. So each digit checks whether every character that is present inside the string represents a digit or not. So now let me enter the correct phone number. Suppose if I enter the correct phone number, say this is the phone number that is there, and now we check is it digit, it says true, it's digits. So we have a ready built-in function called as each digit that will check whether all the characters inside the string are digits or not. Here, most of them were digit, but one character was not digit. Here, all of them were not digits. So it will return true when all the characters inside the string are digits. I'm saying all the characters, because this telephone number is not number, we have accepted it as a string. So if I check this, it is just a string. And we are checking whether all the digits, all the characters represents digits or not. There is also a conditional test that we can put across. When any programming language we talk about, every structured programming language provides three basic constructs. One is sequence, other is selection, third is iteration. So selection mein, we can put some condition to check whether it is digits or not and give appropriate message to the user. Currently, it's all digits. So what I could do is I could use if-else construct. I could, instead of just saying true or false, here we had said false, here we said true, somewhere we said true, and so on. So instead, I could write a statement. What kind of statements would I write? I could say if telephone dot digits. I'm saying if telephone dot each digit. Agar ye digits hai, so I'll be performing some operation. If it is not a digit, I'll perform some other operation. So I could write a code. Let me just terminate this and write the entire code. Suppose if I'm writing the entire code, how do I write it? We say if telephone dot each digit colon. That means if this condition is satisfied, if all the characters are digit, that means if it returns true, then I'll say dial telephone number so and so. If it's not there, I'll say incorrect phone number supplied. So let's see in this case, it says dial telephone number so and so. Okay, great, because all of them were digits. But it could so happen your phone number is not digit, like what happened earlier. Say we have been asked to enter the phone number, and I enter the phone number like this, and I enter some alphabet in between. Now that's not all digits. So you cannot dial this. So let's see what happens if I put similar kind of condition. And if it says incorrect phone number supplied. Why is it incorrect? Because it contains a character which is not a digit. It doesn't represent digit A. How do I do that? I'm saying if telephone dot each digit colon. That means this is a condition that I'm checking for. If this condition returns true, then this statement will get executed. If this condition returns false, then we go to else part, and this part of the statements will get executed. Notice colon over here, and colon over here as well. That's the syntax in Python. So if I am putting across a condition, if telephone dot each digit, if this condition is true, print this statement, else print this particular statement. Since you have entered a character string, string in which there is a character which does not represent digit, each digit function returns false. False if the incorrect phone number supplied, and that's what has now been printed. So we have seen various functions like lower, upper, capitalize, and now we have seen each digit. But suppose I'm not accepting the telephone number, I'm accepting the name. And for some reason, after I have accepted the name, here you go, enter the name. And my name is suppose T-E-J-S, Tejas. So if I want to print the name, so if I say print name, it will say Tejas. Okay, great. But who knows? Somebody must have entered name as 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do not want name to be like 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So I need to check. So if you want to check whether all characters inside this particular string are alphabets or not, okay, alphabets are not even special characters. So I can say all characters are alphabets, name dot is alpha. So is alpha returns true. But it could have so happened that when I enter the name, I have been asked to enter the name and somebody enters the name as King George IV. ऐसा उसका नाम है. So if I print the name, you will get the King George IV, whatever it is. Huh? But is it all alphabets? Let's check it out. कहता है all character alphabet false because आपने यहाँ कोई तो 4 वगैरह enter किया है and that's not an alphabet. So we have this ready-made function is alpha that can be used to check whether the name that you have supplied is valid or not. Valid because we have a precondition that all characters should be alphabets. Oh, I said 4. Even if I had used some special characters, then also it would have failed. Huh? So let's do that as well. So here we go. Let's accept the name. I've been asked to accept the name. I say Raja @Q. So there is one character @, which is definitely on the alphabet. So let's check. Let's check. It says false. So is alpha needs all characters to alphabet. It can be lowercase, it can be uppercase, it can be anything, but it needs all of them to be alphabets. So I could put a condition: if name dot is alpha, if name contains all alphabets, then I'll welcome. Otherwise, sorry, saying your name is invalid. In this case, you'll say sorry, your name is invalid because it contains characters which are not alphabets. But what if you had entered all alphabets, like I've been asked to enter my name and I say my name is Rajni. And then if I want to print the name, it has printed Rajni. But what if I now check in this fashion, it will immediately say welcome Rajni. Why? Because name dot is alpha returns true. So it's immediately going to say welcome Rajni and so on. Plus, white space characters which are there, they are also very, very troublesome. So a lot of times we are really interested in checking whether the characters are troublesome, whether the characters are containing spaces or not. Okay, let me answer the question. Viraj says, will it fail for Roman letters as well? Yes. Alphabets are not counted as Roman letters are not counted. Roman means what? If I say X, I. No, that's at the end alphabet. Hai. X is alphabet, I is alphabet, I is alphabet. So it will not fail. It will consider it as an alphabet only, as long as I do not use a symbol which is not beyond A to Z. So is alpha will return true as long as all characters in string are in the range of A to Z, uppercase and lowercase. Agar A to Z के बाहर के आ गया, then is alpha will fail.
Okay, sir.
And Sairam, were you joking or what?
नाही सर ते नावच वेगळं आहे ना म्हणून विचारलं.
Okay. Okay.
सिंबॉलिक नाव आहे.
Okay. Okay. Just that reminds me. Few years back, when they were carrying out survey and finding out what are the most popular names, and there was a year when internet started becoming very popular. Internet became very popular. One of the most common name that was given to the young ones in China was @. So if you are talking about those special characters, so @ also was one of the very commonly used name for Chinese kids. So hash $, dollar kuch aa jaye, so then there is no need to surprise. If @ can be somebody's name, hash and dollar can also be somebody's
इतका
name.
कंटाळा.
Pardon?
इतका कंटाळा.
Who knows why did they do that? @ is so popular, na, actually. You say everything @something.com kind of thing. So, and I don't know how @ is written in Chinese. Do they write the same symbol or something else? They have a symbolic language. But I was shocked to hear that @ is the commonly given name for Chinese kids. Cultures are different, so we at times do not appreciate how they think, and they don't appreciate the way we think. So maybe there may be some reason they will be thinking like @ then they say the kid is going to become computer savvy. Kya मालूम?
स्पेलिंग कसं लिहित असतील?
काय माहिती. But just check it out. It was a very interesting article that I read. @ being one of the most popular names for Chinese kids.
Okay.
Okay. So we thought, look at these functions, but then we were talking about spaces. We talked about two types of space, white space characters, the space, tab, enter are those characters and so on. So sometimes we would like to know whether my string contains spaces or not. So if I have a string S in which I have stored only spaces, look at that. These are only spaces. I want to know, does this particular string contain spaces? So contain spaces means only spaces. Huh? So in that case, we have a function called as eSpace. If I say eSpace, eSpace, let's just say S is dot eSpace, my string is S. If I say S dot eSpace, get that true, because all these are spaces. If it contains even a single character, then we have spaces here, beach mein ek character W hai, suppose. Now if I check is spaces, कहता है false. So is space return true when all the characters in the string are spaces. You may be asking, sir, इसमें थोड़ी ना कुछ है, ये तो empty string है. Because if I want to print s, you may just get to see w. Okay, let's not even talk about w. Let's talk about this string. And if I want to print the string, it looks as if there's nothing inside the string. You may say it's an empty string. No, it's not empty. Why? Because we can check. If I say length of s, it says there are 4 spaces which are there. So it's a string which is containing 4 characters. So the string contains characters are also, spaces also a character. Just that it is a white space character which cannot be seen with our naked eyes. But then what about the other white space character like tab, like enter? What will happen with them? So suppose if I have a string, saying s is equal to /t, that's tab, space. Now will it be considered as a space? Let us check it out. So if I print this, print is all non-visible characters. But अगर मैं इस space से check करूँ, कहता है true, it is space. So you may be in a position to see this tab, but tab कभी आपको screen पे दिखाई दिया है क्या? It's white space. यानी tab यानी just that number of spaces it is leaving. 4 spaces tabs का bit जो भी रहेगा. So tab, space, enter, these are all white space characters. So each space returns true even if I have tab character. What about new line character? /n. And now if I want to print the string, it is just left one more line. देखो यहाँ एक line का gap आ रहा था, तो यहाँ 2 line आ गए. Okay, that's okay. Because एक तो /n की वजह से आ गया, और दूसरा print में end का value is also /n by default, अगर आपको याद है. But ये space है क्या? Let's check it out. कहता हाँ. If I had used in combination, means if I had /n, /t and a space, तीनों characters, तीनों white space characters. And now if I print this, it still says true. So don't get confused. E space is not about E space. E space is about white space character. So if the string contains only white space character, जैसे new line is also white space character, tab is also white space character, and space is also white space character. So this particular string contains only white space characters. So in this case, E space function still returns true because it is not checking whether the characters are alphabet. It's not checking. It will only check whether it contains white space character, all white space character, not just space, any white space character. So that was about E space. Now we are now going to look into some advanced functions. Before that, let me know if there are any queries regarding whatever we have discussed so far. Have you all understood whatever we discussed so far? Because these are the features that you have to use while you write your code. Shantanu, कुछ doubt है?
Sir, I joined a bit late.
Okay. अभी जो देखा उसमें कोई डाउट है क्या? शंतनु, आपको कोई डाउट है? ओके, नो डाउट. विराज, जो देखा उसमें कोई डाउट है क्या?
No, sir.
Okay. Let me check if I'm recording the session or not.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's cover up some advanced functions. Now the functions that I plan to cover is alpha, is digit, is space. ये सब हमने देख लिया. Oh, we are talking about removing the white space characters. So for that also we have some functions. So let's have a look at some functions which can be used to get rid of the spaces. Suppose you have a string and your string contains some kind of spaces and you wanted to get rid of those spaces. Let's do something. Let's talk about spaces slightly later. Let's look at some advanced functions first. Because for spaces, we do have functions that will get rid of all the spaces for us, but we'll come to it later. Meanwhile, what we'll discuss right now are another set of important functions is what we'll cover. So these are all functions of type which can be used to operate on strings. So we're just trying to cover up all the functions that can be used to operate on strings. Here we go. Suppose we have a string. We may ask the user to enter the string. And in that string, we would like to find for some kind of character. So we have a built-in function called as find, string.find. And the string.find can be used to find some strings inside some other string. So let's check it out and see the behavior. Suppose I'm asking the user to enter some string. I'm asking the user to enter the string. So here we go. We ask the user search string is equal to input is equal to please enter the string to search. And we press enter. And we are going to enter some string to search. I'm going to enter a string like surface optical mouse pad. Even a string here. I want to print this string. I can just say print. String. It's a surface optical mouse pad. Perfect. Now in this string, we would like to search for something. Okay. Oh, sorry. We should have the source string, and the source string we should search for something. Correct. So let's assume we have some very big source string, and the source string will search for some character. So what I'll do is I'll take one source string. Both of other issues are fixed by postponing the evaluation of suppose annotations as an array string. I just copied it. Both the issues are fixed by postponing the evaluation of annotations. Okay. Okay, the spelling is wrong, but that doesn't matter. So if I print this source underscore string, okay, so it has this way. Both the other issues are fixed by postponing the evaluation of annotations. Perfect. Now in this string, you would like to search for some character. Say you want to search for a character like the. Now where is the? Can you find where is the word the?
Postponing.
Postponing के बाद ये the है आपके पास, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see whether you are right or not. So if I now want to search a string, so I ask the user to search for a string, and he says I would like to search for a string called as the. So while your source string is this, your search string is only a letter called as the. So inside this string, we would like to search for a sequence of characters that is the. So the also appears over here in other. Because आपके लिए a space है, but Python के लिए this is also a character. So Python के लिए all these are characters, including spaces. So the first place where you have the letter the is over here. It's not a separate word, but it's a part of that sequence. So I want to search for it. So how do I search? So if I now say in the source string, I'd like to find some character. So let's first say source string dot find my search string. So source string में search string में find कर रहा हूँ. And it says 9. What's 9? 9 is the position where that particular character has been encountered. Let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. ये तो 9 पे तो O है, द नहीं है. अरे हम लोग 0 से काउंट करेंगे. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 9 से आपका द कैरेक्टर आ गया, THE, starting from position number 9. Indexing starts with 0. So it has given you index of this. Did not give this after postponing जो द है उसका नहीं दिया. So find function finds the first occurrence of that sequence of characters. Now it's not talking whether it's a word or something like that. It's just sequence of characters. जहाँ कहीं द दिखाई दे, THE दिखाई दे, that it has written. But suppose you wanted to search the last occurrence, that's also possible. So in that case, what we do is instead of find, I say rfind. If I say rfind, it will find from reverse. कहता है 45. ये वाला जो आपका द है वो 45. यानी अगर आप ये काउंट करोगे तो 45th पोजीशन पे आपका ये द रहेगा. तो one is find and other is rfind. rfind का मतलब है reverse find and find का मतलब है forward find. So you have to keep that thing in mind. When I say source string dot find, yes, this is forward search, whereas this is reverse search. So R stands for that reverse find. So it will now find in the reverse order. But then there is more to this find function. मुझे ये वाला ही find चाहिए था, the find करना था. I knew that there is this the over here at 9th position. So I want to start searching from the 15th position. ये issue जो है 15th position के आगे मुझे search करना है. Is that possible? Let's see. When I'm writing this, it's saying 9. So I want to search starting from position 0 नहीं, ये by default 0 से start कर रहा है. और कह रहा है 0 से start करोगे तो ये 9 पे आपका द है. तो मैं कहता हूँ 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 के आगे ढूंढो, यानी इसके आगे ढूंढो कहाँ है कोई द. So in that case, let's see whether we can do that. I'm saying find, and I put a comma here, and I say start searching from say 8th position. तो कहता अभी भी 9. मैंने कहा नहीं बाबा 10th position पे ढूंढो. तो 10th position ढूंढोगे तो second is at 45. So you can give the starting position. By default, the starting position is 0. यानी 8 लिखा क्या और 0 लिखा क्या, you're still gonna get the first at 9th position. But when I say 10, यानी 10 के आगे कहाँ है द, तो 45 position पे. 10 मतलब you're gonna start searching from this edge. तो इसके आगे द कहाँ है, तो this is the first place where the appears. That's at 45th position. So we have now used a function called as find. So if I say str dot find, देखो ये क्या कहता है, find string start and end. Oh, that means we can also specify start and end. So right now what we have specified is start. I am also going to specify end. यानी कौन से section में आपको देखना है. There may be the letter the before, there may be the letter afterwards, but I want to search from within a section. So what I could do, I could say pos is equal to sourcestring.find. Watch this, sir. I'll have 3 different values for pos. Yeah, हमने कहा sourcestring.find, कुछ नहीं कहा. And we print pos. It's printed 9. Great. If I say start from 0 position, it will still print the same thing, 9. If I say no, start from 10th position and check till 50th position. तो 10 से लेके 50 के बीच में कहाँ है क्या, बोलता नहीं. We don't have the search string between 10 to 50. Okay, so we're going to start from 10. You're going to stop at end at 50, and it says it doesn't have that character that you're trying to search. So let's print the search character. आपका search character क्या है, the है. And last time we had seen at the 45th position we had it. Then what's the problem for the 50th position? Okay, because we are searching for that particular character inside the string. So if when we wrote str dot find, when I put the bracket, says start चाहिए, end चाहिए. Okay, substring will start end, and both of them have to be integers. So we have an option of doing that, and we try to do that. And at 50th position, it says the मिल रहा है कहीं तो in between that particular string. देखते हैं pos में value क्या है. Let's check it out. What's the value of pos? So if I say print pos, ये 45th position पे, यानी 10 से लेके 50 तक ढूंढोगे तो आपको ये पहला वाला द नहीं दिखाई देगा. ये पहला वाला द नहीं दिखाई देगा. 10th position के आगे ढूंढ रहा हूं मैं. The first position after that is this the, which is at the 45th position. You got that? तो एक काम कर लेते हैं, ये ना रेंज थोड़ा कम कर लेते हैं. मैंने कहा नहीं ये नहीं चाहिए. मैंने कहा यार 40 के अंदर है क्या कहीं, 10 से लेके 40 में कहीं द वर्ड द है क्या. लेट्स चेक इट आउट. तो इफ आई टेक दिस pos and I print the pos, no, -1. What is this -1? When find or rfind fails to find the substring, it will return value -1. So you have to check to know whether the search is successful or not. You will always have to check the value of pos. And what would you write? You could say you're searching for the character string once again. Huh? So let's do it once again. Suppose you had this particular string, the original string that we had. So you had the original string. Watch it once carefully. Yeah. This is how we use it. Actually, we have this string. That's my source string. So as I say print source string, that's your source string. In this, we want to search for another string. If we want to search for another string, if I go here, I say search string, enter the word to search. I want to search for the word called as say fix fix. I'm searching for fix. Okay. So let's print the search string also. Print. Sorry, इसमें fix है. That means this is the original string in which I would like to search for a subsequence like fix. So fix here. So if it's there, I don't know whether the search is successful or not. So first, let's write a statement to compare, and then we'll check the value. So how do you write the statement to compare? You could just say source string dot search. I'm not giving the starting and the ending position. क्यों नहीं दे रहा मैं फिलहाल? तो मैंने यहाँ कहा search. तो fix कौन से position पे? 25th position पे. So what I could have done is I could have just said pos is equal to pos मतलब position कहाँ मिला है ये लिख देता and print pos. A 25th position पे. But I'm not interested in position. I just want to know whether the substring search string is present in the original string or not. In that case, what we could do is we could put an if else condition. What kind of condition we'll put? I'll say the value of pos is not a -1, then that substring is present. So here I go. All right, if pos not equal to -1, found string at subscript pos. Okay, the found string at subscript 25. The found string, which string you want to specify? Oh, that's also possible. So I'll say found the string, जो भी आपका string है, जिसको आपने लिखा है search string. I'm going to say found the string that is search string at some position. So let's run the code. Here we go. Let's run the code. ठीक है, invalid syntax, कहीं तो quotes ज़्यादा आगे है, ठीक है. हमारा आ गया. कहते हैं found the string fix at subscript number 25, but the string that you're searching for is something different. Suppose I go here and again say enter the string to search. I say string to search is suppose mouse, and then if I write the same condition, I'll say pos dot find. Okay, pos is equal to string क्या variable का नाम source string dot find search string. अब pos में क्या देखते हैं? with a -1, because the word mouse is not present inside the source string. अब the source string में क्या स्टोर है? This. यहाँ कहीं mouse है क्या? नहीं. So it return value as -1. So if find is successful, it return the subscript. If unsuccessful, return value as -1. Let's take some other string. So please enter the string to search. Now in this entire string, I am going to search for a word called as post. कहता है अभी आ गया. So I don't know the position where that particular string is found. So I'll print the value of pos. If I print the value of pos, it says -1. कहीं भी post post नहीं है. क्या बात है? यहाँ है ना हमारे पास post, postponing में post. Both the other issues are fixed by so and so. So let's print our source string. That's our search string. In this, we would like to search for a string called as post. Let's check post, and we will now search pos dot source string dot find search string. And if I print the value of pos, if I print the value of pos, it says 34th position. यानी जो postponing में जो post है, that is at the 31st position inside that particular string, 34th position inside the string. So I can again run an if-else condition if I need be. If pos not equal to -1, search string is found at so and so, otherwise not found. So let's press enter. Oh, the same mistake. I forgot to put a comma over here. The string post at subscript 34. So the string that you're trying to search post is present inside the string at position number 34, index number 34. So that was about find and rfind that we have to discuss. Have you understood this concept of find and rfind? Monica is asking what is pos? Just some variable, position, index. I give a name as pos. I could use some other name as well. But it returns you the position, it returns you the index where that string appears for the first time. Rpos returns you index where the string appears for the last time. So we have two different functions, pos and rpos for this particular purpose. Quick feedback. Have you understood this fine concept? Everybody? Only close to understood. बाकी लोगों को नहीं समझ में आया. Turn on a camera. जरा वीडियो क्या बताना है आपको कैमरा ऑन करें. Okay. Monica, what's the doubt? Monica, doubt क्या है? Okay. Now that we have seen find, let's look at some other functions. Suppose we have a source string. Our source string is the same source string that we had taken up earlier. If I say print so it says both other issues are fixed by postponed devaluation of annotations. Perfect. That's my source string. What is the first letter inside this word inside the string?
B.
Both. Word is both. Character is B, but word is both. So I want to know whether this string starts with some character or not. I'm not interested in knowing whether the word both is present inside the string, but does it begin with the word both or not? So in that case, we have some very interesting functions which you don't find in other languages, like source string dot starts with V. Does this particular source string starts with V, condition true or false? It returns false. So I want to know whether it starts with both. So I just say whether it starts with BOTH. Is that true or false now? They start with both.
True.
Okay, let's see. Still
No,
says
sir.
false.
Capital.
Here it was title case, and here what we are given is lowercase. So that will not be allowed. I want to search whether it is B in capital. It says yes. So like we have start with, we also have end with. So instead of start with, I can just say ends with. I say ends with both. That are false. So does your string ends with TION? That are false. Because आपके string में last है TIONS. So I say TIONS. Okay, that's true. So it ends with the string. So we have starts with and ends with as two different functions. Where the string begins with this particular character, doesn't begin with this character. Ends with this character. So two different functions, starts with and end with is what we are saying. Starts with, ends with. So if the string ends with this character, it returns. It ends with this character, it returns true. It doesn't end with TION. It ends with TIONS. So only here we have got the answer as true. Another very useful function that we use with strings is like, suppose string mein na, suppose I have some source string, let's assume. So if I have a source string is equal to, I'll say account number 123 was deposited with amount 56 something something something. That's your string. So if I go on to print the string, it prints the string. Account number 123 was deposited with amount 4,50,000 and so on. So it has printed. But this amount 4,50,000 was, suppose, what do you say, was confidential. You do not want to display it. You want to mask it with some character like XXXX or something. So what could you do? You could say string is equal to source string dot replace. Okay, what I'm going to replace? I'm going to replace the letter called amount that is 450000. With what I would like to replace, I would like it to be replaced with 5x. So that thing doesn't get displayed. Now, if I print the string, it's intact. वहाँ कोई change नहीं हुआ है. But string में कुछ और change आ चुका है. So we have another string called a string. If I have XXX. So all occurrence of this 4,50,000 has been replaced with XXXX. How did that happen? I said source string dot replace. So inside the source string, whenever you come across this sequence of characters, replace with these characters. So this 4,50,000 was replaced with 5x, and these are the 5x that we have. So we also have a concept called as a replace. So you can add something and you can just quickly replace it. This is very useful for masking. Masking means hiding some confidential data that is there inside the string. You can mask it with some other character and so on. So have you understood this replace function as well, everybody? What if the string that you are trying to search is not there? So you're trying to search for 55,000 or 5,50,000. And now if I print string, it is just your original string because that 5,50,000 is not found anywhere. Your source string is also intact, that has not gone anywhere. So source string में कोई change नहीं, it's there. Okay, so that was about find and replace. Any questions so far?
Sir, if you have to edit the source string, you have to rewrite it, right?
No question of rewriting. You can assign it to a new variable or the same variable, but it will be a new string. The same string will not get changed. Monica is asking, is it possible to unmask the string again? But unmask करके वहाँ value क्या डालना है आपको पता नहीं. Once masked is lost. I can remove XXX and replace it with some other number or character, whatever you want. But it will not retain information कि यहाँ पहले क्या था. That information never retained. Just give me a second. So let's continue with some other functions. Okay. We saw function like replace, ends with, starts with, and so on. We were talking about the concept of removing the spaces from the string, didn't we? So, and then somebody asked me whether concatenation is possible or not. So let's work with those examples. Okay. Suppose if I have a string, the string contains, if I have two different strings, say one is Anil and other is Kapoor. So these are two strings, S1 is equal to Anil and S2 is equal to, S1 is equal to Anil and S2 is equal to Kapoor. ऐसे दो string है. So if I say print S1, likewise I say print S2, it's Kapoor. If I say S1 plus S2, That's Anil Kapoor. But neither S1 has changed, neither S2 has changed. This is a new string, Anil Kapoor. So I could very well say S3 is equal to S1 plus S2. So if I print S1, it says Anil. If I print S2, it says Kapoor. If I say print S3, it says Anil Kapoor and so on. But यहाँ दोनों के बीच में space चाहिए था आपको. So you could have said S3 is equal to S1 plus a space and plus S2. So if I now go on to print S3, it will print it correctly. Anil space Kapoor is what has got printed. So concatenation is very much possible. Suppose for some reason I wanted to draw an dashed line on the screen. So one way to do that is like I can just put these many number of dashes and I can put a dash line. Oh, sorry, in double quotes I can put that many number of spaces and I can complete my dash line. Yeah, dash line. Or I could write this particular statement in print function. So I could write it in print, so it doesn't get displayed in quotes, but just a pure dash line gets displayed. I say print. आगे आपका एक pure dash line आ गया. So for some reason, we wanted a line to be of a line which we can control. What is the width? So how can I do that? I could just say line is equal to ये आपका एक character है underscore. ये आपका एक character है dash suppose. I'm going to multiply it for 20 times. So if I now go on to print the line, it'll print line with those 20 characters. Instead of 20, if I multiply it by 40, and then print the line, you have 40 characters line and so on. And the line could have been dashed line so that it appears smooth. Underscore lete hain. Now if I print this line, it's smooth 40 characters ka ek line aa chuka hai. So point is you could repeat any character. Like if I say S is equal to Anil into 5, so S mein 5 times Anil aa jayega. So any sequence of characters can be repeated. Here we repeated only a single character 40 times. Here I repeated Anil 5 times. That's my choice. What I would like to repeat, how many times I would like to repeat. That's our choice. Suppose, and so we are seeing concatenation is possible, multiplication is possible. All these things are possible. So now tell me, if my string S contains data like tiger. String S में क्या है तो data like tiger है. And if I now want to print what will print? Anybody?
Yes, yes, yes.
Pardon?
3 times S.
3 times what?
S small s.
Tiger.
ध्यान से देखो ऊपर क्या किया मैंने.
So sorry, sir.
अगर ये कैरेक्टर होता तो उसे कोट्स में डालना जरूरी था. ये
हाँ,
स्ट्रिंग रहता तो कोट्स में डाल रहे हैं. S 3 times. If अगर प्रिंट करता है S में तो टाइगर है. So if
Yes,
I
sir.
now write this, what is an output here to be printed? Yes, anybody? Come on. Uthraj,
Tiger, sir, 3 times.
louder.
Times tiger.
Tiger into 3.
So it will print TIGR into 3.
No, tiger.
Tiger, 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 3 times. Watch it whether the answer is right or not. It printed tiger 3 times without any space. So if I say, the point is, if I say S into 3, yeah, 3 into S, if any of the parameter is a string, so in that case, that string will get repeated that many number of times. So 3 into S, S into 3 will give the same result. So it has repeated that particular string that many number of times. Okay. Both will end up giving you the same result. Okay, so I have a string called as Python is object oriented. Python is object oriented. That's the string that we have. Suppose S1. What would happen if I say max of x1? So here if I say max of S1. Can you guess what is the result that will get? Max of S1. One guess.
Highest ASCII value character.
Which is the character with highest ASCII value here? Yes.
S
Louder?
Y.
Why?
Why? Okay. Now let me tell you one thing. Python 3.0 from ground up has been designed to work with Unicode characters and not ASCII characters. So Python is no longer like C or C++ that by default take ASCII. Although the answer is correct, it gave you Y, but that was not the ASCII value, it was the Unicode value of that particular character. Why am I saying Unicode? Because you could very well say S1 is equal to, watch it, huh? You could very well say S1 is equal to A B को ड तो आपने भले avocado कहा हो तो Python will work with this avocado also, and then you could ask what's the max character. It says B is the max character. Okay, so it's not asking avocado to ASCII nahi characters. Americans do not know about avocado. It's we who know about avocado. So Python right from day one is designed. Day one means Python 3.0 onwards. Your answer would have been right saying ASCII if you are working in Python 2. We are working with Python 3. So all strings in Python 3 are by default Unicode characters. Avocado Unicode character है. ये tiger भी आपका Unicode character है. The first 256 characters of Unicode are same as that of ASCII. So ASCII is a subset of Unicode today. ASCII is a subset. But don't use the word ASCII. Say Unicode character set. तो Unicode था ये उसकी वैल्यू तो उसमें सबसे बड़ा कैरेक्टर कौन सा है तो B is the largest character that we have. So it's not just about English character, it's about any character. So likewise अगर मैं S1 is equal to Python object oriented language कह देता instead of max had I called function called as min. But आपने अभी कुछ नोट किया क्या? This time around when I'm calling this function I'm not saying S1 dot something. Earlier I said S1 dot capitalize, S1 dot lower, S1 dot upper, S1 dot find, हर बार string dot find ऐसा कहा है. Here I'm calling this particular function directly. Also you can note the change in the color. इस पर जो भी color है, different color आ रहा है. Whereas over here, when you're calling those functions, let's see how is it working. Here I say source string dot ends with. That color was not there, like what your printf का आ रहा है. That means this max, yeah, min, these are not string functions. They can work on any type of data. They are functions. Listen, max, min over here are function. Whereas print is also a function. Whereas, listen to very carefully. Whereas replace, ends with, starts with, find. Find. These are all called with the string using this dot operator. They are called as methods. So there's two different terms, methods and functions. Functions are freestanding. You can call it anywhere directly. Methods are bounded by some type. And a string ke methods, string dot something. So they have been defined within the scope of that type called as string. So Monica has some request. She says, is there any function which counts any specific word is repeating in the string and display? Yeah, there are. Python may all your requirements have been taken care of. So you don't have to worry. Python, it supplies you everything. And if built in the standard Python doesn't provide, there are supporting third-party APIs that will do it. So the reason why Python is becoming popular is because all your common requirement ke liye there is an implementation which is available. But now what we have seen is what did we see right now? We saw a function called as max and min, function, not method. तो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन फंक्शन. जैसे प्रिंट एक फ्री स्टैंडिंग फंक्शन है, मैक्स फंक्शन है. प्रिंट में आप कुछ भी प्रिंट कर सकते हैं. मैक्स में किसी भी टाइप के डेटा पे पास कर सकते हो, उसकी मैक्सिमम वैल्यू बताएगा. बट इट्स अ फंक्शन, इट्स अ फ्री स्टैंडिंग फंक्शन. Whereas we plan to first explore methods. So let's come back to methods, which are all about strings. String के बारे में क्या है? तो इसमें min character कौन सा है? तो b है. Object oriented में Python is object oriented में b is the smallest character that is there. Okay. So these are methods that are there. Functions max and min. We also had seen a function called as length. तो ये जो string है, इसका length क्या है? तो उसके लिए we have a function again called as length, not a method, function. So there are 22 characters की string है, including spaces. So let's keep these functions aside. Let's focus on the methods which are part of string. Suppose you have a string. And the string goes this way. It says Python is object oriented. Okay, if it says Python is object oriented, here we go. So we have a string. This says S1 Python is object oriented. So if I say print S1, it says Python is object oriented. Okay. In this string, I want to search where is the first occurrence of character O. और बता सकते हैं पहला occurrence का कौन से पोजीशन पे है character O का? Yes, कौन से इंडेक्स पे O आ रहा है पहली बार?
6th.
4th index.
Okay, 4th index पे आ रहा है. So instead of that, I can just say S1 dot index 0 O. So if I say index O, it will give me the position. But this is as we are saying. Suppose I want to search O के लिए नहीं search कर रहा था. Suppose I was searching for N. So N कहाँ आ रहा है? The first index is also. अरे sorry, by mistake I typed in O again. N कहाँ आ रहा है? तो 5th position पे आ रहा है. O was appearing, but O actually appears एक बार यहाँ है, फिर यहाँ है, and again it is here. So it's O. Normally in every strings ना English words देखोगे, strings देखोगे, sentences देखोगे, vowels appear more times. तो E, I, O, U, तो A भी है, I भी है, okay, O भी है, A नहीं है, but I and O है. But now we got it. So we know the first time O appears is at index number 4. But I can actually specify ढूंढना कहाँ से है. So here, sorry, if I go here and if I search कहाँ से ढूंढना है, if I say oh it says 4, I could say start from searching from position number 0. अरे 0 से search करोगे तो 4th position पे ही है. तो 0th की जगह I could say start from searching from position number 5. तो position number 5 के आगे देखे तो 10 पे है. कैसे? 0 sorry 0 1 2 3 4 पे O था, ये 4 आगे फिर 5 6 7 8 9. ओके लेट्स चेक 10 कैसे आ रहा है. पाइथन के कितने हो गए? 1 2 3 4 5 6, दैट इज 7 8 9. लेट्स काउंट स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम इंडेक्स नंबर 5. हाँ, let us do it keyboard. नहीं 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. बराबर 10 पोजीशन पे सेकंड वाला O है. 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20th पोजीशन पे थर्ड O है. Okay, let's search that as well. So this time round I'm going to say search from index number 6 के आगे देखो. तो index number 6 के आगे कहाँ कह रहा है? O is position number 10. Okay, तो 10 पे है ना, तो मैं कहता हूँ 11 के आगे ढूंढो. तो 11 के आगे कहाँ है? तो 20th पोजीशन पे है. So we can search for the index by specifying where to start searching from. So I can only give the beginning index. I can also give the end index. Means I want to search for character O between 11 to 22. whether 11 to 22 में 20th पोजीशन पे O है. तो मैंने कहा नहीं between 11 to 17 के बीच में कहीं है क्या? 11 to 17 के बीच में है क्या? कहता है value error, substring not found. It's not there between 11 to 17. It's not there. Between 5 to 15 है क्या? यहाँ है ना, 10वें पोजीशन पे है, right? So we can give the range in which you'd like to search. The starting and the ending index is what I can give. तो मैंने कहा नहीं नहीं यार, ये 15 से लेके 20 तक कहीं है क्या? कहता नहीं है, 20 पे था ना वो. The reason for that is not just in Python, keep in mind, almost in all programming language, wherever you compare the range, the starting index is inclusive and the end index is exclusive. यानी 15 से शुरू करेगा, ढूंढेगा 20 के पहले तक, यानी 19 तक. 20th पोजीशन पे है ओ, बट ये ढूंढेगा 19 तक. So keep in mind, whenever we give range in any function, in most of the languages, the begin index is inclusive and the end index is exclusive. And this is for most of the time. हाँ? तो अगर मैं यहाँ कहा था 25 तक ढूंढो, तो ये 20th पोजीशन दे रहा है. तो जब आप 15 से लेके 20 कहते हो, it actually searches for between 15 से लेके 19 तक, not even 20. So start index is inclusive, end index is exclusive. Have you all understood this index concept? Quick feedback, everybody.
सर मला एक क्वेश्चन होता.
Please. ask.
आपण लेफ्ट साइडने चेक करतोय ना, तर असं पण करू शकतो का की म्हणजे राईट साइडने चेक करता येतं का?
फाइंड करा ना. चेक करायचं म्हणजे काय करायचं? पोझिशन चेक करायची का
हा
आहे की
म्हणजे
नाही हे
सपोज
चेक
आता
करायचं?
ओ फाइंड, हा दोघं पण. आता ओ जर आपल्याला फाइंड करायचं तर आपण लेफ्टने चेक करतो, तसं
नाही
राईटने.
नाही, एक मिनिट. ओ जर फाइंड करायचं असेल तर आय यूज फंक्शन कॉल्ड एज फाइंड. इंडेक्स फंक्शन gives you the position. Okay, so depends on what you want to do. You want to check whether O is present or not, don't use index. आपको पता है O है और उसका पोजीशन क्या है देखना है, then use index.
ओके.
Okay, तो फाइंड है ना आपके पास, आर फाइंड और फाइंड दोनों है. तो आप लेफ्ट से सर्च करो, राइट से सर्च करो, अगर वो मिलता है कैरेक्टर है, then you can. The index gives you the position from left to right, not from right to left. Find gives you from both the places, left to right and right to left. तो अगर आपको वो कैरेक्टर है या नहीं ये चेक करना है, तो आई रादर से फाइंड. है पता है, उसका पोजीशन सिर्फ चाहिए, देन से इंडेक्स.
ओके.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So actually find will do both the work for you, but sometimes we are not interested. यहाँ और एक चीज थी, when I'm using this index, if it is not found, it generates an error. Find doesn't generate error, it just returns your index as -1. So that was the advantage of doing in the find. Okay. So we have this string S, capital S नहीं है, small s है. Python is case sensitive. ये आपका टाइगर है. तो मेरा S1 क्या है? Python is object oriented. So Monica had asked a question, क्या मैं कितनी बार ये आ रहा है ये ढूंढ सकते हैं क्या हम लोग? Yes. तो Python is object oriented में O कितनी बार आ रहा है? I want to check. So I want to count the occurrence of O inside that particular string, which says Python is object oriented. So in that case, S1.count O कहेंगे हम लोग. If I say count, it says occurrence of O is 3 times. So O occurs 3 times. It's not just about a single letter. It is also about a series of characters. तो यहाँ is भी 2 बार आ रहा है, is, correct? So I can also count whether that particular sequence of characters appears any number of times. So I can say S1.count is. So it's not like we can search for a single character. I can search for a sequence of characters like is as well. So here I go, oh, I mistakenly did something, got rid of it. Is. So is occurs, hold on. Okay. So here we go. So S1.count is, we have seen how many times that particular character appears and so on. Okay. So we have seen the number of times the character appears. Okay. Hold on. So we have searched for this particular thing as to how many times it appears. Now, there are so many functions which are there. You will actually go crazy looking at all the functions. Let's have a look at the various functions which are present. In case if it so happens, we don't recollect, then in that case, we can always go to python.org and you can go to documentation. You can search for string str. So there is the string module that is there. So it will tell you all about the string that is there. We've seen digits, there's a hex digit, octal digit, punctuation marks, printable, white space characters, ASCII letters, not just alphabet, ASCII lower, there are so many things which are there. There are so many other functions also which are actually available. So there is a lot that we have to yet see about this string class. There are so many different functions. There is so much of formatting which is available. So it's one of the most powerful feature of the language. So common string operations, string.py. So it's talking about all the operations that we can perform on string. We are looking at find. Okay, we're looking at find. So we are string.find. So a finder name, we just want to use the word find. We say string.find. String.find, Python method. तो हमने देखा find है तो r find है, replace देखा हमने. Index केस है, r index भी है. When r just है, r partition है. तो this r index and index, index. N index. Okay, like find. Okay, but raises value error when substring is not found. So understand, index and r index generates error if the string is not found. You can view the start and the end position for both index as well as r index. Whereas find does not generate error. Find doesn't generate error. If it is not found, it returns value -1. And if it's found, it returns you the index. Okay, it returns you either true or false. So find returns Boolean value true or false. Is that string present or not? So you first find, and then if you know it is there, then see the index. And find was searching from left to right. R find was searching from right to left. Likewise, we have index and R index also reverse killing. So we have index and we also have R index. So we are just going to try and cover up as many functions as we can. So you say R find hai, we say R index bhi hai. Okay. So we'll quickly look into all the examples, as many as we can. Here we go. It's impossible for us to cover every function. It is for you to look into those things, but we'll just try and cover up as many as we can, so that you, when you are carrying out some operations, you know such a support exists in Python for me. Now, suppose you create a string saying S is equal to, you create a string saying A/NB. So in this particular string, we have AB and we also have /n. So if I want to print this string, I get A/NB. If I want to see it in action, I can just say print S, and you could say A and B on different lines. Why? Because when I printed S, it has printed you the white space character /n as well. But when I print S, instead of just printing on the prompt A, उसके बाद new line, the new line का impact क्या है? The B goes on the next line, और फिर B print हुआ है. So does this particular string has all characters which are printable? So I want to check whether it has all characters which are printable. So in that case, I can call function is printable. कहता है false है, because it contains one character that is /n, which is not printable. Like what was true for /n is also true for /t. तो अगर मैं s print करता हूँ तो ऐसे print कर रहा है. If I print s, it is printing A/t. If I say print s t in action, कैसे? Tab space. A और B के बीच में एक tab space print किया गया. One tab space printed. But is it printable? False. because now it contains a string which is not printable. And what is not printable? This tab is not printable. So we saw tab and enter. How about space? Is space printable? So yeah, again. And if I say print as AB again, I'm going to check is printable. Get that true. So space is printable. Tab and enter are not printable. But tab and enter, are these the only non-printable characters? Let's check them out. आपकी string है a backslash b, that's backspace. ये print करके देखते हैं. S says a/x08b. Okay, तो मैं कहता हूँ print s. Any guess what it will print? Any guess what will it print?
It will replace A and it will replace A to B.
It will replace A with B. Okay. So it has tried to print some characters and that backspace has got printed as something different. So let's take this string once again and say a/b. Here we go. And we print s. It's printing this character. And when I say print s over here, it has given you some special character in between. Okay, ऐसा कुछ तो एक character दे दिया है बीच में. Why? Because this /b was translated into /x08 and /x08 का जो corresponding character है that has got printed. But point is ये printable character है क्या? तो कहता है false. That's also not printable. White space character वो printable नहीं है. तो क्या क्या printable नहीं है? Space, tab, space नहीं, space printable है. Tab, new line, \b. There's one more called as carriage done /r. तो वो भी देखते हैं /r. अब यहाँ अगर मैं s print करना चाहूँ तो ये कहता है a/rb. At the same time, if I say print s, it says ab. तो इस /r का impact तो यहाँ अभी पता नहीं चल रहा है. We are not understanding. But is it printable or not? Let's see. कहता है false. It's not printable. So keep in mind. I'll just give you a short about what is /r. /r is carriage return. /n is new line. /b is backspace. /t is tab. And space is space. So out of this white space character like /t, /n, /b, /r, none of them are printable. So is printable will return false for all of them. But for is printable return true for spaces. Okay. And Monica asked me where we can find all the non-printable character list. See the ASCII chart. You will get to see all the non-printable character list. But non-printable जो है जो अभी हमने discuss कर लिया. Okay. So /n, /t, /f, /v, I'll give you the list of characters. Don't worry. I'll give. There are a few more. I'll give the list of all the non-printable characters. We'll discuss them as we go ahead. We actually have to see the effect of them as well. कब कौन सा use करना ये भी देखना है. But फिलहाल printable है कि नहीं is what we are seeing. So we saw 4 non-printable characters /n, /t, /b, /r. ऐसे 4 characters हमने देखे which are all non-printable. Actually, in this thing, there are a lot of functions which are there. बहुत ज़्यादा functions है जो हमें explore करने हैं. So you have to be patient कि पता हो कि ऐसा कुछ available है. Suppose, if I have a string called as print, and if I say I have a string called as foo. So if I print this, the string foo has got printed. String foo has got printed. What I'll do for a moment is just leaving one extra line. So I'll restart ideally once again. I don't know. While printing it, was just leaving one line which I feel was unnecessary. Hopefully it recovers from that problem now. Here we go. Say if I say print. Oh, now it's printing correctly. I don't know what had gone wrong. Just leaving one extra line, which was totally unnecessary. Extra line छोड़ने की कोई जरूरत नहीं. Here. So we printed foo. But then it could so happen, I want this foo to be printed, in a column width of 10 और वो भी center में. So what I could do is say foo dot center and I say 10. फिर यहाँ एक, let's count. Let's start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. आप बोलोगे सर आगे भी कुछ तो है. नहीं है कुछ. ये 10 कैरेक्टर्स में फू आ गया exactly in the center. But probably you may not believe me कि सर आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं. So the blank spaces I can fill it with some character. Maybe I say fill it with a dash. तो फू प्रिंट हुआ है टोटल 10 कॉलम विड्थ में. Since the spaces cannot be given equally, width 10 का था और बीच में आपने फू 3 कैरेक्टर्स डाल दिए, तो 10 minus 3 7. 7 cannot be divided equally. तो लेफ्ट को एक कम रहेगा, राइट को एक ज्यादा स्पेस रहेगा. So it has got printed. I want to print those, fill that blank spaces. You can fill the blank spaces with dash or whichever character you like to fill it with. That's totally your choice. मैंने कहा नहीं यार इसके आगे पीछे ना डॉट डालो, तो आगे full dot dot and then 4 dots and so on. That's your choice. So that was a function called as center. Now if I have center, can I do similar kind of justification? It's for justification. Huh? Can I do similar kind of justification for left and right? Okay, let's try. Suppose I write a statement saying print, and I put a star. Watch it. Huh? I put a star. Then I say foo. Then I put a star once again. When I say foo space star foo, and foo के पहले भी space है, foo के बाद भी space है. That is because the default separating character is space. ऐसा है, इसलिए ऐसे आ रहा है. But I can change the default separating character to empty string. अब देखो foo without any spaces. Foo means between two parameters there are arguments, there are no spaces. If I now pass print Anil, comma Kapoor, Anil space Kapoor आ रहा है. But if I say comma sept is equal to empty space, अनिल कपूर चिपक space set. Remember print function separator. दो आर्गुमेंट के बीच में क्या सेपरेट चाहिए? मैंने कहा कुछ नहीं चाहिए. स्पेस चाहिए, डालो स्पेस चाहिए. बट स्पेस तो बाय डिफॉल्ट ही था. So what I have done is here I said I don't want any separator. Foo has got displayed. You're wondering मैं ऐसा क्यों कर रहा हूँ? इसके पीछे कोई वजह है. Because I want to show you the behavior of Ljust and Rjust. Means if this is my foo, I say comma Ljust, that means let's justify 10 case. तो देखिएगा foo ये 10 का स्पेस है बीच में. इस 10 के स्पेस में foo is on the left hand side. Likewise, अगर मैं कहता हूँ Rjust, the foo is on the right side. वैसे कहता हूँ मैं center, is exactly in the center. So we have justification, left justified, right justified, or center of the given width. आप width जो चाहे दे सकते हैं. And you can also fill that character. जैसे Rjust में भी आप fill कर सकते थे. तो मैं कह सकता Rjust, comma क्या character दे दो अभी. मैं कह सकता था I want dollars. क्या आ गया? $, then foo. If that doesn't look nice, let's put a dot. So star 7 times dot and then foo. Rjust की जगह अगर मैं left justify कहता हूँ तो foo and then 7 dots. Width is 10. So that's for you to decide with what character we'd like to fill the blank spaces. By default, you have an opportunity to by default the fill character is space, and you can left justify, right justify, center, whatever you like to do, you can actually do it. Okay. So that was about justification. We also had seen about length. So we are talking about removing the spaces. Suppose you have a string and your string is something like this. You say S is equal to double quotes में space 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 foo space bar space bars and then few more spaces. That's your string. So if I check for the length of S, it says 20. अरे 3 3 3 9 आना चाहिए था. It has given 20 now. It is given 20 because there is space before, there is space after, and so on. And there are spaces in between as well. So for some reason, I wanted to remove all the spaces. Suppose मैं इस string को print कर देता. Print S. So spaces and then foo bars. और आगे भी spaces जो दिखाई नहीं दे रहे. So how can I check that? What I could do? So just for your understanding, I'll put a pipe over here. I'll put a pipe over here. S. और आगे एक pipe. तो याद आ रहा है, यहाँ भी स्पेसेस है, आगे भी स्पेसेस है. तो फॉर सम रीजन आई वांट टू गेट रीड ऑफ दो स्पेसेस. तो लेफ्ट के स्पेसेस को अगर हटाना है, एस डॉट एल एस टी आर आई पी एल स्ट्रिप. देखिए लेफ्ट साइड के स्पेसेस चले गए. आप बोलोगे सर एक और स्पेस दिखाई दे रहा है. दैट्स अबाउट सेपरेटेड कैरेक्टर. सेप इज इक्वल टू नो सेपरेटिंग कैरेक्टर. अब देखते हैं. देखिए लेफ्ट साइड के स्पेसेस चले गए. लाइकवाइज मैं आर स्ट्रिप कहूंगा तो राइट साइड के स्पेसेस चले जाएंगे. अगर मैंने आर स्ट्रिप एल स्ट्रिप की जगह सिर्फ स्ट्रिप कह दिया तो दोनों साइड के स्पेस चले गए. तो लेफ्ट स्ट्रिप, राइट स्ट्रिप एंड स्ट्रिप. तो लीडिंग एंड प्रीसीडिंग दोनों स्पेस हटा देने हैं स्ट्रिप. प्रीसीडिंग स्पेस हटा देने यानी बिगनिंग के एल स्ट्रिप, आगे के आर स्ट्रिप. तो लेफ्ट राइट दोनों को आप स्ट्रिप कर सकते हैं. सो दैट वाज अबाउट functions through which we can strip the characters. But there's more to L strip and R strip. It's not just about spaces. So that I'll discuss. Let me know, have you understood what I have discussed so far? Quick feedback, everybody. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so I said there is more about strip, and we'll take this strip and then we'll stop. I'll not trouble you much, but these are functions which are there, so we should be aware of them. So let's see the interesting part of strip function. Suppose I have a string which says hello, but this hello has a lot of characters inside it. So if I say print S, so that's 4 stars, hello, and 4 stars, suppose. So earlier when I said strip, it was stripping only the spaces. L strip, R strip, it was stripping only the spaces. अब मुझे इन stars को strip करना है. That's also possible. What I could do, I could say print S dot L strip, and I can say strip stars. लेफ्ट साइड के स्टार्स चले गए. मैंने एल स्ट्रिप की जगह कहा आर स्ट्रिप, राइट साइड के स्टार्स चले गए. इसकी जगह मैंने कहा स्ट्रिप, दोनों साइड के स्टार्स चले जाएंगे, लेफ्ट एंड राइट. So you can remove any of those characters that you may come across. Now, एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन आपके लिए. Let's see whether you can guess it right. Suppose you have a string something like this. So I say print as, this is what it is printing. It says A B A B B B B A table and B B B A A. Suppose I now write a statement saying print dot L strip A B. Now tell me what is the output that will print. What is the first character that will get printed?
Table.
Table and आगे का
Same
B,
as
B,
it is. Triple
as
B
it is.
A.
तो कौन कौन से कैरेक्टर्स गायब हो जाएंगे, डिलीट हो जाएंगे?
Sir, starting A B till table.
How many characters? ओके, ये बी बी ए बी डिलीट हो जाएगा, आपका मतलब है ये बी बी बी.
So starting से I'll say entire A B A B B B A A.
एक मिनट, ए बी या बी बी बी, डबल बी चला जाएगा, डबल ए बी चला जाएगा,
कुछ भी नहीं जाएगा.
कुछ भी नहीं जाएगा. ओके, एनी अदर आंसर? हर्ष, आपको क्या लगता है?
मुझे वही लगता है, टेबल जो पहले इनिशियल 8 कैरेक्टर्स है वो
तो
चला
आपका
जाए.
मतलब ये डबल ए बी चला जाएगा.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So most of you guessed it right. AB, in whatever order they appear, everything will get deleted. So even if AB ki jagah, if I started with BB, so any sequence of characters A or B, all of them will get deleted. All of them will get deleted. So AB, SC sequence A or B, any number of times it appears, all of them will be stripped till the time we do not come across a character which is not between A and B, other than B. So like L strip, you also have R strip. So if I said R strip, it'll get, so table के आगे वाले B, that has got deleted. Likewise, we could also say strip. So you can decide upon what characters are to be deleted as well. That also you could do. Now, we saw L strip, R strip, and we are also seeing functions like justify. Justify में हमने character left को right को डाल दिया string और उसको fill कर दिया. तो filling अगर आपको करना है, तो there are a number of other ways to fill. एक है आपके पास a function called as zfill. So what I could do, method called as zfill, I could say print, and suppose मेरे पास ये string है 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. I say dot zfill 10. तो कहता है zfill कहने पर z मतलब 0, हर जगह 0 फिल कर लिया उसने. तो आपका L just R just से भी ऐसा कुछ कर सकते थे आप. कैसे? You could have said this Z fill की जगह you could have just said right justified 10 का स्पेस है और यहाँ आप कैरेक्टर 0 देना चाहते हैं, वही आ जाएगा. Okay, so we also had a function called as Z fill, 0 fill. But will this 0 fill work with ABCD? It has no issues. It's string characters. So Z fill just fill the blank space with zeros. But you could achieve the same thing with R just as well. So these are some of the functions that I had to demonstrate before we actually start using them for some practical purpose. So that was a very brief introduction to set of powerful functions that string provides. So tomorrow when we meet, we'll actually look into some advanced concepts like how to strip the strings, and then how to use the built-in methods, which functions which are available, and then we'll also look into the operators that we can use with strings, and we'll introduce ourselves to the concept of UTF. तो आपके लिए आज असाइनमेंट है, find out what is UTF. UTF ये पढ़ के रखिएगा. So that's the topic that we'll be discussing tomorrow. What is UTF and how does Python provide support for them, and what is an advanced concept of byte string in Python? That is what I'll explain tomorrow when we meet. A quick feedback about today's session. Have you all understood whatever we have discussed today? कोई query है क्या? Discuss मतलब आज तो मैंने सिर्फ demonstration दिया आपको. String के साथ क्या क्या कर सकते हैं आप, जरूरत पड़ने पर हमें इसे यूज करना है. And for your reference, what I'll do is I'll share whatever we have discussed today right away. तो आज जो हमने डिस्कस किया वो पहले आपके रेफरेंस के लिए. In the script that I'll be sharing with you, you will find some additional functions as well. So do explore those additional things that I may not have discussed today during the session. So you'll find some additional functions which are there that I may not have discussed today. Please explore from this file called as string1.py. So I shared a file with you, string1.py. Have you all received this file?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that note, we'll stop here today. We meet tomorrow and we go ahead with some advanced concept of string manipulation, and we'll also look into byte string tomorrow. So thank you all. Take care. Good night.